This is the plaintiff, Anthony McDonald. He says he sold the defendant his primo sectional couch. The guy gave him one payment and then poof, no more money. He can't believe the plaintiff would out and out stiff him like this and is suing the lazy boy for every penny of the $400 he's owed. This is the defendant, Albert Wilson. He says he and the plaintiff had a payment agreement in place, but the impatient man up and sued him after he gave him the first payment. Besides, the plaintiff owes him for work he did on his apartment, which he was never paid for. That's right, if anyone's owed money, here it's him, and he expects to get it. He's accused of taking way too long. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $200, the money he's owed.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant stiffed him on his primo sectional couch, but the defendant says the plaintiff jumped the gun. It's the case of sit on it.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, you're suing the super of your former building,
Yes.
correct? Albert Wilson for $400 that you say he still owes you on the sale of a couch, a
Yes.
sectional that you sold him. Tell me what's going on.
Well, at the end of June, I was moving out of my apartment, and on June 25th, I talked to Wilson about selling some of my furniture, and he said, and when I told him I was selling my couch, he said, actually, if you can't find anyone to purchase your couch, I actually would like to buy it from you for the agreed upon amount of $600.
Okay, now is $600 what you were looking to get from it, from anybody?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
He told me, though, that he couldn't pay me the entire amount in one payment, so we'd have to do it into basically 3 different payments of $200 each.
Okay.
I agreed upon that amount in that kind of payment plan.
Okay.
So on Saturday, I move out most of my stuff, the 28th. On that Sunday, I come back to my apartment getting some of the smaller things, and I'm trying to call him throughout that day. However, I do not get him until 9:59 p.m. that night when he says he was sleeping. What's up? I said, well, I'm just trying to see if I can get the first payment because I'm moving out today. He says, unfortunately, I can't give it to you today. I can give it to you on Wednesday.
And did he?
Yes, he did.
Okay, when was the second payment due?
It was due 2 weeks after that because in his
And
text
did he
message,
pay you that second payment?
I have not received anything
Did he
from
give
him.
you any excuses as to why? Did he give you any indication as to why? Do you have any text messages?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Hand me the phone and I'll scroll.
Thank you.
Please be an iPhone. Please be okay, good.
Well, it's a BlackBerry.
It's a BlackBerry? I can't use a BlackBerry?
Yes, you can.
No,
Yes, you
I can. All right. Okay. Wilson, my lease is up tomorrow. Can you come up here real quick? Wilson, I am in bed, long weekend. Come up 4 so we can, you say, so we can talk things through, or can you talk now on the phone? He says, we did talk already. I am going to give $200 and then in 2 weeks later, another $200 and then the balance 2 weeks later, but this will happen on Wednesday. Okay, bring some tools as we're gonna have to take the feet off and if you can bring a sheet as well. I'm not moving it today. So you're just giving me the money, the $200? Don't worry, when you turn in your keys in from the office, I'm buying your set and I will move it on Saturday, yes, too. So you did give him the $200 that day.
Yes, I did.
Well, why didn't you give him the rest of the money? Because you're right here saying exactly what he says.
Prior to the couch even coming into play about me wanting to purchase it, he had to get the apartment back to its original state in order to get his security deposit back. He had painted walls in the living room burgundy where he approached me, he said, Wilson, can you get some of your guys to find out if they want to work for me to help me get the apartment back to its original state? I said, I'll ask my guys if they want to help you. I asked the guys downstairs, it was Julio and Gustavo, could you help out apartment? I think he's 56 he used to live in. And they told me, nope, they do not want to work for 56 because he is the quote unquote cheapy, he doesn't like to pay. So to make, to help him out, I gave him 3 gallons of white paint to help him, get the living room back to its original color.
Whose paint was it?
It was my paint.
Did you charge him for that?
No, because he, originally when he came to me, he asked me, can I find somebody that would do it?
I heard
and
everything
he
you said. You
pay.
don't need to repeat yourself. My question was, did you two have an agreement that he would pay you for the paint?
We didn't have an agreement for the paint or either.
So here's the thing. What you have here is you give him some paint. You feel that should come into play in the agreement, but you didn't put it in the agreement when you bought the couch because that predates the purchase of the couch.
The couch
So why
came
should
second.
I put it in the agreement?
The couch came second.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was 2 ceiling fans that I took down, one in the dining room
And
and
all
one
that
in the
happened
bedroom.
before you bought the couch,
Way
right?
before I bought the couch.
Okay, now I want you to work with me here.
Yes.
Look at me.
So can the defendant say, I'm not going to pay you the full amount because you owed me money?
The hard thing is that it's a verbal arrangement, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I would pay back the full amount.
Is it required to pay back the full amount? Yes or no? What do you think? Huh?
No, it's not.
You can withhold some.
Of course.
Oh, jeez. Going inside the courtroom.
When you bought the couch, if you felt you were owed money for helping him bring down ceiling fans and handing him white paint, why didn't you put that in your agreement with him?
Because we never had a written agreement.
It's not written, it's verbal, and it's recorded in, God bless you all, your social texting and media and everything is now. My job as a judge is so much easier because no one can think without writing it down now. So if you don't make it part of your purchase plan, how do you look a judge in the eye and say, hey, that's worth $400, so I don't have to pay anything else? You didn't put it into, you didn't say to him, well, okay, I'm buying it for $600, but come on, man, my taking down your 2 ceiling fans and the paint I gave you is worth at least $150. So I'm only going to pay you $400. You didn't do that.
Because
did he take down your ceiling fans?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and did he ever tell you you need to pay me for that?
No, he did not.
Okay, and did he give you the 3 gallons of paint?
Yes, he did.
And did he ever tell you you need to pay me for that?
No, he did not.
Okay. It's not that I disagree with you that, somebody gave me 3 gallons of paint, took down my ceiling fans, I'd be handing him a little dough. But, that's not my business. You two have to agree on something. And when you don't, not only do you not say to him, hey, you're going to owe me if you want me to take down these ceiling fans, but beyond that, you actually oblige yourself to pay him $600, then you don't take the math into account. How can you ask a judge to take the math into account?
It's not that I want you to take into account. I gave him the initial down payment of the $200.
Yeah, I know. You were supposed to pay him the other $400.
The next payment was pending on me and him having a discussion about the work that I have done.
Really?
We never got to that discussion.
That didn't come up, though, before you agreed to pay $600, right?
It didn't.
And yet the work you'd done, taking down the ceiling fans and handing him some paint, that had already happened.
And putting up the 2 light fixtures that was missing.
When you agreed to pay him $600, all of that had already happened. So really what it looks like is you got the couch, and now you have the couch, and you want to get away with only paying $200 for it.
No,
What's your
$400.
counterclaim for $200 for?
The $200 for the paint and the 2 ceiling fans.
Yeah, but you didn't pay the $400.
I wasn't going to pay the $400 totally as of yet.
Okay, well, you are now. $400, verdict for the plaintiff.
Good job.
So the defendant comes out on the losing end of this verdict. What's going through your mind here?
I just kind of confused to figure out how come he would expect for me to pay him for something that I received, and he doesn't expect to live by the same standard.
You think, he should do the right thing.
Yes.
Like an old school kind of a deal. But the new school way is get it specified
get it in writing.
in the deal before you take that couch.
I learned.
So did you learn a lesson?
Yes, I did.
All right, okay. All right, head around the corner this
Thank you,
way.
sir.
All right, so come on out here and tell me what you think of this case here against you.
I'm happy that...
His charge against you that you're cheap.
Well, we never discussed any kind of price, and he never said to me when he was doing the work or after he was done with the work, so that's why I was just kind of wondering, where's the rest of my money now?
I know, but what about don't you tip somebody when they do work for you and stuff like that? Are you cheap?
I would, normally, but once again, I thought, being that he was a super of the building, that he was doing this work out of the kindness of his heart, I guess, maybe, but at the end of the day, we never discussed the price.
You don't let a guy dip his beak a little bit, a little lunch money, nothing?
I could have shared a beer with him, okay? I could have gave him something, but once again, he never asked for anything.
Harvey?
Kurt, to offset money, you got to have a prior agreement, period.